having a studio that went back to making games like we used to at Rare back during the N64 days, and operating a studio like that, and the way we made games, it's something I've wanted to do for a good 4 or 5 years really. It was just about all waiting for the right pieces of the puzzle to come together. In the world's your oyster, you instantly think, oh, we could do this, that, or that. And we really have tons of different genres and types of games we wanted to do, but it was all just about picking the right one for the first game we do, something which said exactly what we're about and how we're going to pack loads of character into the game. And so, yeah, doing a 3D platformer felt like the right choice to go and do something first.
I don't know why it's fallen out of fashion. I think you still see those kind of games, those kind of exploratory games, but maybe they're more grown up, maybe they're more kind of horror movie kind of style, adventure, wander around kind of games that you see in today's market. But there's less of the kind of cartoony characters that we're being more well known for.
We know each other inside out, and making this game's it's kind of our DNA. So yeah, we trust each other implicitly. We've not written a single design doc for this game. We've just had conversations and talked stuff through with each other and said, oh, won't this be cool? Wouldn't this be fantastic? It's been really fast, and again, just like it used to be on the N64, it's all about trusting the team that you work with, and just say, yeah, guys, do it. You make great characters, or your backgrounds look fantastic. You go do what you want to do with that.
If you have a much larger team, then you're forced by nature and of that larger team to have some planning in advance, whereas we're quite small, so somebody can say, oh, I'll try a roll move, put it in, and then we go, oh, that's not quite right. Well, maybe it could be like this, change it around, and then within a space of a few hours you've gone back and forth in a few iterations, tried a few different systems, and then you've gone, oh, this seems to be the one that works best, we'll go down that route. And so you can iterate so much quicker.
Ideas can come from everywhere, whereas if you're on a team of 100 people plus, you kind of get a narrowed down focus.
Any one of us can kind of come up with lines of dialogue or sections or cutscenes or some situation that'll be funny, and any one of us can suggest that, and then we can bounce it around each other.
Yeah, I mean, we're not precious about our own personal ideas or anything. Anyone can chip in and say, oh, I don't like that, I think you should do it this way instead, and we can say, no, I'm not going to do that. But people can feel that they can say anything about any aspect of the game. The team is very much set up in that way, and that's kind of how it used to be in the N64 days, really, with a small team size.
Yeah, with our smaller environment, we can just turn around and then look what everyone is doing, and if we need something done, we can plan it out right away and do it right away.
The initial character was like a tiger, but he was sort of deemed, oh, he's too much of a hero character already. He's quite a macho looking character, and then we ended up with big broad shoulders. Then the chameleon came along pretty quickly, just because I've always liked chameleons. They are just cool creatures. I mean, I've always wanted one as a pet, but I haven't had one yet, so that's where the chameleon came from. And then everyone liked him, so give him a sidekick, and there's a couple of ideas kind of bandied around, like, oh, maybe it should be like a dragonfly, or do we do another bird? And then the bat came along pretty quickly.
It's going to be a whole variety of characters, and I know you've done some sketches of some of them already.
Yeah, I mean, something I think people really enjoyed about the Banjo series was the large cast of characters, and that's something that is going to be a challenge to replicate with a small art team, but that's definitely something we want to retain, is the high number of characters. So you go into a world and it's populated with several characters rather than just the same couple of enemies.
Yeah, so there's going to be moves that are really attuned to the kind of characters that we created. So you've got a bat character, so there'll be moves that are kind of things that make sense for a bat to do, and there are things that make sense for a chameleon to do, and obviously the ability to change colour, that's going to be featured in there. The chameleon's got a tail and he's got a tongue, so you can imagine those are going to be featured in there, so those kind of things.
If there's an animation that looks really interesting, that kind of move will kind of move to a higher priority, so it gets made into a more important move. I think the roll's a good example of that, because Gav says, oh, he's going to roll around, and I'm saying, I'm not sure if it'll look good, but once the animation was done and put in, everyone liked the move, then the roll has become quite an important move.
In terms terms of collectibles, there'll be collectibles there, but they'll all be really essential for your progression, and so there won't be just spurious collectibles that are for no reason that you're collecting them. So that's one thing. And then in terms of other features, the original games were kind of limited in terms of what we could do because of the hardware, whereas now, this is significantly advanced in terms of what we can do now. So there'll be a lot more characters on screen and a lot more detail in the backgrounds.
Basically, in the past we worked with a lot of our own engines that we wrote from scratch, and we've seen all the things that can go wrong, all the things that can cause problems, and it's kind of Unity is kind of small enough that you can build whatever you want on top of it, but big enough that you don't really have to start with the tedious work of writing an animation system, writing a particle engine, writing visibility, writing AI and stuff like that. All that comes already in. So I think Unity found the sweet spot between an engine where you basically just plug in your data and an engine where you can build anything you want with.
We're not reliant on the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter really helps us, level up the game kind of thing. So yeah, I like crowdfunding. It enables creators such as ourselves to retain full creative control and ownership of IP rights, which are, especially for us with Yooka-Laylee, also containing lots of characters that we want to define lots of our future games too. We can't do a deal with any publisher where we'd lose the rights to those characters. In future, we'd be like, well, what helps us focus on the game alone and help us reach all platforms on day one? So there could be chances that we might work with a partner who can say, well, you know what, you just focus on the build you can deliver and we can help you with the other ones, so day and date everyone's out at the same time, because we're just a small company. So yeah, we're not looking for publishers, more of like a friendly partnership in future, if it makes sense at the time to help us deliver on all our promises. So if it was just a digital game, I'd be happy, but it's like my inner child would love to see this like on the shelf and in a physical box, and maybe a special edition with the other bits and bobs on it. So yeah, anyone that can help us do something like that, and really just for my own inner child, I'd be like, yay, that's great, let's do it.
I think it certainly could be the case that there'll be a lot of Nintendo fans interested in what we're doing, and in fact, of all the emails and communications we get, a high percentage of them are asking us about Nintendo related features, so that seems to be almost a given. I think it's quite exciting for us as well because of where we've come from in our history.
We want everyone to be able to play our game. We don't want anyone to miss out just because they didn't pick the right platform up front. So yeah, it's really important to us. We know what people want from us because we want exactly the same ourselves. I'm sure if we'd have come out and said we were doing a motion controlled game, I'm not sure we'd have had the big fan reaction we've got, but we've not. We know what people want when you think of Rare and what it means to people and die-hard fans, and that's what we're going to deliver.
I mean, I've been amazed by the amount of press attention that we've had, and I think if we were starting out and nobody knew who we were, then it would have been very difficult to get any attention at all. But for us, it's actually been really great that people have been able to listen to what we've got to say, and we've been tweeting things, and our follower count's grown, and people are listening to what we're saying, and hopefully people will be backing us on the Kickstarter as a result. So yes, definitely helped having that background. I suppose we create games that in our heads we think these are the games we want to play, and then it's just as a side effect that there happens to be a lot of other people that want to play them as well.